You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, let's talk about Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant yet again here in this video. The Grizzlies have suspended him, and we don't actually have a time frame, but it really doesn't matter at this point because the Nets NBA season has not started yet. The Grizzlies, they've been eliminated from the playoffs, and Ja Morant is just banned from all team activities for right now. Now, considering, that their season just ended, I don't know how much team activity he's actually doing. I'm assuming he just can't go to any of the facilities. That's pretty much it. Now, we do know that the NBA is investigating Ja Morant. And there's rumblings out there about, him missing actual NBA games. And I truly do believe that will happen. But however, we have not exactly heard from the NBA. We heard from the Grizzlies. They were very, very upset about the gun video with Ja Morant. But guys, we finally actually heard from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver himself. He was actually at the NBA Draft Lottery last night, and ESPN's Malika Andrews actually asked him about the Ja Morant situation. And this sounds like bad news for Ja Morant. Here we go, guys. Adam Silver honestly shocked by latest Ja Morant gun incident, assuming the worst as NBA investigates. Now, Ja Morant was only away from the team for 8 games before. I believe, man, it could possibly be much, much longer. And Stephen A. Smith, we're going to get to him. He's actually had people within the NBA contact him, and they weighed in, and this could end really, really bad for Ja. But let's listen to Adam Silver right here.
Because this is the second time in about 2 months that Ja Morant, the star of the Memphis Grizzlies, has been seen on social media brandishing a firearm. And before he was reinstated after his suspension last time, he flew to New York. He sat down. He met with you. What did you say to him about how much more severe it would be if he did this again?
Well, we talked directly about the consequences first before we got to a subsequent potential to have done something wrong. We were very focused on the misconduct that was in front of us at the time. And frankly, most of our conversation was about how incredibly serious the first incident was of waving, a firearm on social media. And again, and the consequences there, an 8-game suspension was pretty serious and something that he, at least to me, seemed to take incredibly seriously in that time. And we spoke for a long time about not just the consequences that could have on his career, but the safety issues around it. Could have injured, maimed, killed himself, someone else with an act like that. And also the acknowledgement that, as you said, he's a star. I mean, he has an incredibly huge following. Yeah. And that my concern, and I thought he shared with me, that millions, if not tens of millions of kids globally would see him as having done something that was celebrating in a way. That act of using a firearm in that fashion. And so I at least was left with the sense that he was taking this incredibly seriously. So honestly, I was shocked when I saw this weekend that video. Now, we're in the process of investigating it, and we'll figure out exactly what happened to the best we can then. It's the video's a bit grainy and all that, but I'm assuming the worst, but we'll figure out, exactly what happened there.
So that is NBA Commissioner Adam Silver right there. Ja Morant sounds like he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Adam Silver says that he was shocked to see Ja Morant with a gun again. And you know what, guys? I hear some people out there talking about his Second Amendment rights. I understand that. He has his Second Amendment rights, but he must be responsible with those Second Amendment rights. I mean, Ja Morant just playing around with a gun. One thing I always learned about a gun, always assume it is loaded. And Ja Morant has been reckless with guns multiple times, playing around with it like it's a toy on Instagram. He does have young people that look up to him. And if young people see him playing around with a gun, they may actually go out there and want to play around with a real gun because they want to be like Ja Morant. Ja Morant, whether he likes it or not, there are actually kids that actually look up to him. Now, I'll recommend kids don't look up to him, just for, I guess you want to mimic his style of play on the court. Yeah, that's one thing. But Ja Morant, the human being off the court, no way. No way. Pretty reckless. Now, when it comes to a potential suspension, there's another clip here. I don't need to play it. It's JJ Redick down here. And he was on a First Take. And he said that a 25-game suspension should actually suit. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. It was actually Stephen A. Smith. He said that. JJ Redick said something like 16 games. But it doesn't matter what they say. It matters what the NBA says. Look at this. Now, this other article here. ESPN Stephen A. Smith reveals what he's hearing about Ja Morant within NBA circles. So people within the league office. And if what Stephen A. Smith was told, Ja Morant is in a world of trouble, folks. Look at this. It says here, while an official suspension from the NBA has yet to be announced, ESPN Stephen A. Smith revealed Monday that multiple sources within the league have reached out to him with what they feel would be an appropriate punishment. Quote, I got people in the league texting me saying that Ja Morant should be suspended for the year, he said on First Take. The whole entire season, guys. That is from people within the league office, according to Stephen A. Smith. Now, will he actually be suspended for the full season? I don't know. I really don't know. Now, Gilbert Arenas actually broke NBA rules. He actually brought a gun into a locker room, and I believe he was actually suspended for the whole entire season. I mean, being reckless with a gun, man, I mean, that's ridiculous. Remember in the NFL, Plaxico Burress actually ended up shooting himself in the leg, and he got suspended by the NFL. I believe that the NBA, they need to send a message to Ja Morant. And honestly, I don't even think that a 16-game or 24-game suspension is enough, to tell you the truth. I mean, it almost seemed like, let's just be real here, because Adam Silver said that he spoke to Ja Morant. It almost seemed like Ja Morant lied to the face of the commissioner because he went right out there and did the same thing again. I mean, guys, what if that gun just went off and he ended up shooting himself or the passenger in the car on Instagram Live? I mean, what kind of look would that have been for Ja Morant? He could hurt somebody. Never pull out your gun unless you're ready to shoot. He wasn't ready to shoot. If he dropped that gun, could have went off. I don't know if there was actually bullets in the gun, but like I said, always assume that a gun is loaded. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.